Hello everybody, how are you guys tonight?
Howdy y'all. Welcome to another Wednesday. Hi Michelle, hi Kim Marie, hi Mama B. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Lover Boy song, Working for the Weekend, but boy, you can tell it by Wednesday.
Everybody's working
Phew.
for the weekend.
Hi Robin. Hi Jada, glad you could make it.
Hey Robin, how are you? And Joyce is in the room.
Hi Joyce, you snuck in. Must be in ninja mood.
Our dog Lincoln says hi. Now shut it.
Hi Joy.
I'm going to give it a couple minutes just to get some people in here. And Carrie has something that is not a scanning cut in front of her. And she's going to tell us all about that.
If you guys remember from last week and the box that I absolutely hated, still don't like it, but I figured we haven't actually gone through and hit it with any of these unicorn spit things with any sort of sealer, whether it be tongue oil or polyurethane. So, and I keep saying, oh, wait until you see how it pops, but you guys haven't actually seen it do that. So I figured we'll get a little high on a little tongue oil tonight. Hey Tina, thanks for popping in. This is Formby's tongue oil finish in a high gloss because I like shiny.
It's got a good taste, but the aftertaste is a little bitter.
Yeah, it's a little strong. So we'll hit this a little. We'll just do the lid because I really don't feel like being asphyxiated and then trying to fight with a cut and scan.
Skin cut.
Same thing. It'll go zipping across the room. Yeah, we know it's backwards. It's because we're going to be turning the camera shortly.
Yeah, because this is just the introduction.
Yeah, so we'll flippity-doo-dah once we get a little high on tongue oil.
Hello!
So, try and get this crazy thing open. Probably cut myself in the process.
Hey, Carrie. Hey, Carrie. What day is it?
Hump day! Of course.
Except for cool people like, I don't know, Helen. Because it's already Thursday morning for her.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Helen, that means her work week starts when we're on a Sunday. So you don't really win either way. Monday always comes around and bites you right square in the butt.
Yeah, but at least she gets to start the work week by watching Mom's live stream. That's right. 70 Acres Studio does a live stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Right here on the Tube of Views.
Hey, Lynn. Thanks for coming back.
She made it.
She was early. Early birdie.
What can I do for
Art
you, my
bitch.
love?
Maybe nothing. Hopefully it won't eat through the plastic.
Well, unless it's gasoline. Then it might.
It smells like it, but exactly, Jada. If it has an aftertaste, you don't want the tongue oil on your tongue. Good play on words.
Nice ad. I'm just pimping out my loved ones.
Alright, so if you were here, if you remember, if you watched it after the fact, which at least then you were lucky and you could fast forward through me complaining about it the entire time.
You have to make sure it's actually on screen.
It is on screen.
Now it is. Just making sure.
We're starting this already tonight. It will happen. Just because it hasn't been made pretty yet does not mean it won't get used.
I dare you to spit that spoon.
Oh, it'll get spit. It'll get made all shades of pretty.
It'll get spitted?
It will. It will. So, I'm only going to do one coat because, again, don't feel like being asphyxiated and then trying to fight with this scan and cut. There, I said it right.
There you go.
I like saying it cut and scan because I'm not normal.
You're special.
So, it's just like putting it on anything else.
Hi, Kim Marie. How are you?
Which would help if it wasn't getting glare. I didn't want it on me.
That's what she said, everybody.
Her. And again, because spit is water reactive until it's sealed, you can't do this with a water-based sealer like polyacrylic because it'll reactivate the spit, and nobody wants reactivated spit. So, not that the camera's really showing the difference. Trying to find a... That was about what it looked like. Nope, you can't tell. Bad camera. Bad art, bitch.
You know, why are you shitting all over me?
Because I'm the one with the spoon. I can do it.
I don't know what to... I don't know what to do to please you anymore.
That was too easy. I will let that one go right on by.
Thank you. Hello, good evening, Kiki. How are you?
Keekster!
Kim Marie wants to know, how are we?
Spiffy. Just
I
spiffy.
concur with that.
It's Wednesday. It's almost the weekend. And that is the best thing ever.
I will be going to my son's last ever regular season high school football game. And it's 140 miles away from me. So there is that. But, you know, I'll make a night out of it, take him out to dinner afterwards, meet his girlfriend.
Oh, Lord.
Kiki likes the crusty spit when it dries in the corners of her mouth after drooling all night.
I hate that. Absolutely hate that.
Yes, Mother, it is in Delmar. And you are invited.
Can you go rinse that out just
I
to
most certainly can.
help cut down on some of the fumes? Now, what I will probably do when I go and do more coats of the tung oil, or if I decide to switch to polyurethane, because I didn't want to do polyurethane up here. That smells even worse than this stuff does. I will probably get a little creative with some glitter and put that in there once the next coat is wet, and just kind of dust it, let that dry, hit it again, and then the glitter will be sealed in between layers. So it should turn out pretty cool. Hopefully it'll make it look better because I really still don't like it. We'll have to take some pictures with the DSLR. I always want to call it something else.
Digital single light refraction.
Oh, smart ass.
Haha.
So once it's done, we'll post some pictures and let you guys judge for yourselves if it's the box of doom or if it actually turns out halfway decent. So, art bitch.
Yes, ma'am.
Just don't stick your hand on the lid, please, and thank you. And just set it on the thing somewhere if there's room.
I will make room.
Alright, so As promised, tonight you'll probably hear more cuss words than a sailor has ever known while I sit here and we learn together on this cut and scan. Scan and cut, whatever.
Does that mean we get to change camera angles now?
Yes.
All right.
So, get your barf buckets out. You're on for a ride. Wrong way, dum-dum. Hey, I sound like Mama B.
And now you're gonna...
That way?
Yes, and tighten it up.
That's what he said.
How do you get tongue oil off your hands? It's so sticky.
Yeah, it is. You need like mineral spirits and stuff.
We have 99% isopropyl.
Try it.
Where'd you move it?
That's for me to know and you to figure out, my love.
Well, fine. I'll just use the 97%.
Oh, you're slacking.
I know where that is.
Alright, so scan and cut. How many of you guys are familiar with it? Used it, owned one and got mad at it and put it back in its box?
Bought one just for the glamour factor and never unboxed it?
Just so I know if there's anybody in there that can do some technical help for when I do throw it across the room.
You have technical help. Your issue so far hasn't been so much with the scan and cut, it's been with Adobe Illustrator, which you do not have to use if you do not already have it.
Well, here's the thing. You don't need Adobe Illustrator. It comes in nice because if you find vector images online and there's one that you really like, but maybe you want to tweak it, maybe you want to delete parts of it, or you want to do whatever with it, you can take it, put it in Adobe Illustrator, and after you've pulled out a good portion of your hair, you can get an image that you like. Now, when you're not used to Adobe Illustrator, talk about a massive learning curve.
Yeah, myself too.
So,
do we want to explain the difference between bitmap images or standard images?
No geek. Just no.
Do you at least want to say that you can't just use a picture you take from your camera?
Yeah, if you give me a minute and let me go through the script I have in my head, mind your place. Don't make me get the spoon back out.
You scripted?
In my head. In my head. Alright, so scan and cut. It's an awesome piece of machinery. Because I am an only child and very spoiled, had to have the biggest and the best. So I got the Scan and Cut CM650W, which is the one that comes with more fonts, more images and stuff already in the memory. It also will do scans and cuts if you buy the correct mat of a 12 by 24 inch image. So it does give you that. It also allows for
Do you mind, Lincoln? We're trying to do a live show. You ate right before the show.
He's hungry, Daddy.
I swear.
So when looking at all of these, trying to decide, do I want the scan and cut? Do I want the Cricut? Do I want insert name of some electronic device here? I looked and I looked and I looked, and it came down to, do I want the Cricut, which is by all intents and purposes very simple and kind of dumbed down, and would make it easier if you're trying to do stuff just very quickly, like I don't know, cut out squares or cut out, simple shapes, anything that doesn't really matter if you want to use your own image or not. Do I ever plan on drawing something that I then want to have scanned in and have this thing fussy cut it for me so I don't have to do it? Do I want the scanning option at all so that I can take a picture out of a book that I love and get it in there? This will do that. The Cricut will not. So then it was, well, do I want to be able to have the Wi-Fi ability, which you don't have to have. You can just use a thumb drive. You can hook it to your computer, but I wasn't sure, and I'm still not, where this will finally have its home. That way, with it being Wi-Fi, you get access to their website and you can download images. You don't have to put it on your computer. You don't have to put it on a thumb drive. It'll send it right to the machine. That way you don't have to, oh, where's my thumb drive? Or, oh, now I got to figure out where that USB cable is. Or you have to constantly have it hooked to your computer. So with it having the wireless, I could have it across the room. It's still a matter of having to get up and put the mat and whatnot in it, but so be it.
Kim Marie wants to know, will it cut stencils out?
It will do stencils. It will do stamps, which, when I can figure out where the camera is, we will be fighting with tonight, because I love stamps. They're like one of my favoriteest things. But they're so expensive. That's why I don't have a room just full of stamps. So when I saw that this thing will do that, I was like, I'm in. So got that. Got some extra stamp sheets, and we're going to give it a go. Now, the problem with the scan and cut is that, again, unless you're even slightly comfortable with vector images, you can have some real hard times if you're trying to use a vector image. Now, if I was more artistic and could sit here and draw freehand anything that I wanted, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because I could just draw it, scan it, and use that as for a stamp or for whatever. But I'm not inclined that way any longer, since I had a boo-boo a few years back, so don't have full range of motion in my thumb anymore, so it's kind of hard to hold a pencil and draw and like that. No, Helen, it's for stamps, like cling stamps, stamps with ink, the kind you use with the little inky pads.
Yeah. And Tina, it has danced for us once, but we were extremely baked.
It will, like the art inspector, as you see, when it does get started, her and Lincoln will probably come over and try and chew on it. So that's another form of entertainment. So we will take a look at the website for the scan and cut soon as ArtBitch switches the screen. There you go. Alright, so when you first sign in, it presents you with a lot of their pre-baked little things that they've added in, that you can get the design that actually goes into the scan and cut, so it knows what to cut. They walk you step by step on how to make it. Once you've got everything cut out, what materials you'll need, and it's pretty fun. I mean, they even go so far as to come up with toolboxes that you can build and then attach to the side of your scan and cut to hold the different little tools that you use with the thing, which I just haven't gotten around to doing yet. I've had this for a while, but I haven't had a chance to really sit down and play with it because life and everything that happens therein. So
I have to pause for this brief announcement. We have officially been thunderstruck.
Oh, Thunder. Hey, how you doing? Glad you could come by. And nice AC/DC reference there.
Oh, thank you.
So, Scan and Cut, the website, they call it Canvas. I don't know why, because it's far from painting. You can go in, and here's where your projects are. Not that I really have that much. Different account settings. You can go through and get different packs, meaning like Rhinestone, they have a set that will actually, when you get the package, will attach rhinestones, which to me rhinestones are very 80s. So
well, we're stuck in the 80s, it seems. So I think that works.
Then there's the printable sticker, which that kind of has me looking at it too. Embossing, I have that set. I just have not activated it and monkeyed with that either. Foiling, enhanced image tracing. So you get some extra things. It's not quite as money hungry as the Cricut is, where everything you turn around and want to do with it, you have to buy a cartridge. You end up with 1,000 cartridges just to be able to get all the images you want to make a couple of different projects. So that, while I do love to accessorize, I mean, what woman doesn't? But that was just too much of a money pit for me. Yeah,
and me, because I'd be paying for a lot of it too.
You'd be paying for it all.
And to answer Jada's question, she says she loves your my announcer voice, PJ. Have you been practicing? This is just my voice, actually. I used to sit here and talk like this back when I was hosting an online radio show. But no, this is just my voice. And I'm using a cheap mic, too. So that, no, it's seriously just my voice. Thank you, though.
Please don't make his head get any bigger. I already have to grease his ears so he can get through the door. Anywho, back on topic, which is hard because somebody constantly derails me.
No. Me?
Yeah, you. So, what you can do is, start new projects. Here's different things I've been fiddling with. And this, if it will open, go into edit, brings you into the canvas. Yes, dear, before you bust a nut.
Oh, shut up.
Walnuts, peanuts.
Those are mostly legumes, except the walnuts.
Then why are they not wall legumes? Or pea legumes.
Can I laugh at Rose silently, semi-silently, and not have you stop the show because I giggled once?
Now you know how it feels.
Now this one I will say, Joyce says, PJ has a radio voice. I almost said bedroom. Yes, Joyce.
Yep. I have gonna have to get the Crisco voice out so you can get in and out of each room.
Jeez.
Alright, so
that's what she said.
Alright, enough. Or the spoon will come back out.
Bring it.
I'll make you cry on this stream. Okay, so I already have the image in here. I'll show you how to start a new project shortly, but I wanted to have one in here so that we can sit here and look at it and go, oh my goodness. So it is a vector image, meaning that, let's get this a little bigger. There we go. Which means that typically a vector image, this one's already been grouped so it's all one piece, but typically a vector image would mean that each section of this outline, when it gets to a different curve, typically will then become a new line that you have to then twist and put it in the correct direction that you want. I don't have the brain for that. I can't do it. I end up with what looks like a big bowl of spaghetti that isn't anything. So when you do have an image that you have in here that you want to possibly either flip it around, let's say you wanted it tilted the other way, you can come in here and flip it around. You can cut and paste. You can totally get rid of it. Here, when you actually click the right way, you can change the size of it. You can change the color. The color really doesn't matter for what we're doing because it's not going to color anything. It's just going to be cutting. You can also rotate it again here.
Rose says it sounds like too much work, and I will respond with yes, but there are certain things you will never be able to buy in a store on a stamp pad or as a sticker or anything like that. So making your own custom stuff has its benefits.
Exactly. So, I mean, I found a lot of free vector images just by Googling it. Then it was just a matter of saving them and then putting it onto somewhere where I could find it on my computer, because yeah, I have tendencies to lose stuff, and now it's just a matter of making sure it's going to look the way I want it once it gets in the scan and cut, which typically it does. This image that we're looking at right now was a free image, and it'll do. You know, it's free, can't complain. But yeah, so as you can see, it gives you the measurement of, you know, how big this thing is going to be when you do go to cut it out. So right now we're almost at 4.5 by 3.5. You know, I don't necessarily want a butterfly stamp that big, at least not tonight, so I'll probably resize it when we get ready to do this one. But I want it to go in and start a new project so that you can see how easy it can be. It's not all hard work. So we'll go into the stamp section. It comes with a few different stock images, if you will. Nothing super spectacular, but you know, for what we're doing tonight with this, it'll work. So let's say I want to do the arrow. Just click on it, pops up over here. Now here again, let me zoom in a little bit for you. Not that much, Carrie, honestly. Again, you can see it's almost 4 inches by 2.5.
It's a good size.
It's not a stamp I plan on keeping. It's really only going to be used as the test cut to make sure that we have our settings right when we do go to cut, so that when we do the butterfly, it'll come out and we won't have to redo that one. So the easiest way to resize this thing is just to grab a point and go, and it'll keep the way the settings are stock. It will keep your aspect ratio the same, so you're not going to get it all skewed. So that should work. Now with the stamp starter kit, which is
you know, Kiki's gonna blame us for making her spend money, right?
Yeah.
Because she's no longer resisting. She's getting one.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bad influence. What can I say?
It's not like you're pushing heroin.
No, but it's probably just as expensive. Alright.
How much is the retail for this model?
This model, well...
It was $650, wasn't it?
Give me a minute. We'll see. We'll see what Amazon has it for. Oop, helps if you can spell. Brother, scan, and cut to...
Yes, Starwolf, you can stretch the image as much as you want, and the great thing about vector images is they don't get pixelated like a Facebook image or a picture from your phone would be.
All right, now Amazon has the Scan and Cut 2, but it's the CM350.
Okay.
Which is the one step back of what I have. It has some built-in design, 7 fonts. The 650 has like almost twice that, which that's whatever. But again, spoiled child. I needed the one with all the bells and whistles.
You just wanted to one-up Mama B, 70 Acres, because she's got this model.
Well, she ones up me on everything else. I had to get her at least once. I mean, anytime she can pull out 1,001 different pens and ink pads and bottles of Mistos and makes my jaw drop, it's just... Yeah, I had to get her at least once, and this will probably be the only time. So, now the one thing about the Scan and Cut is, depending on what it is you're wanting to scan and cut, it could require that you need a different blade than what comes with it. It could require that you need to get several different types of mats. The blades will last a good while, but they're not forever blades. You do have to replace them. You will probably also have to replace the mat that you get, because, and the lady when I bought this thing said, don't be surprised if you ruin your first mat. It's not 100% ruined, and there that one went, but there are, can you put it on this?
You do realize that that's not pointing there.
I hate this, but anywho, I need like 8 cameras, so that no matter where I point, there's a camera.
We're working on it.
There is where I did like the very first cut on this thing, and it's permanently etched in here. It didn't go all the way through. It doesn't affect it in anything that it does going forward, but it's not pristine. And your mats will not stay that way, especially when you're first learning to do this. So be prepared for that. The mats come in different tackiness, depending on, again, what you're trying to do. The mat that I just showed you is the standard, meaning that you can pretty much do just about anything on this mat. Well, that being said, the first thing I tried doing was cutting stuff out on cardstock. Now, hard lesson learned there, not all cardstock is created equal. The cardstock I have, don't know what weight it is because it's in one of those multi-packs that you can get at Michael's that has all the nice pretty colors in it, or it'll have like 4 colors but they kind of go together. Those type of packs, well, it doesn't tell you what the weight is. So I figured, because newbie when it comes to paper crafting, figured, oh, it's cardstock. They said cardstock. Here's general settings for what you should set this machine to for doing cardstock. Put it in, went away, and try to get the paper off of here was like fighting with a greased pig. It was so hard because the tack on this mat was so strong and the paper was not quite up to par. I had a heck of a time getting it off of here. So you have to kind of think about, okay, what is it I'm doing? What am I using? And adjust your mat or change what you're trying to cut with whatever mat you have so it'll work.
Just like with a router or saw, you always want to do test cuts off to the side of the sheet. That way you're not going to potentially damage it.
Well, you really have no choice. You have to use the mat. So it's not like you can do a test and see, oh, well, that's not going to work, because you have to have a mat in there. It will not scan something if it's not on a mat. Now, they also have a scanning mat. That's all it does. You put whatever you need scanned on it. That way you're not using the adhesive if you're not trying to cut it. So if it's an image out of a book but you don't want the image cut out, there's no need to have it stuck to a mat. So you can use the scanning mat that'll hold it, no tack. It'll scan it, and then you can just take it out and go on about your business. So I have one of those too, but that's not what we need for our application tonight. Now, the starter pack for the stamper kit comes with 3 of the sheet thing, the cling material, and it comes with one acrylic block. Now, when I ordered, or thought I was ordering this set, a bunch of old ladies at a sewing store here, so, you know, part of it was just miscommunication. They thought I meant the additional blocks. Now, I ordered this thing when I bought the scan and cut, so that should kind of tell you, well, I doubt she has the starter kit. Maybe that's what she meant, and that's even what I said. And I even asked, is there anything else I need with this, because I have no clue. And they were like, no, you know, because I was already getting this, and I was getting an extra blade, the regular blade, just because it would be my luck it would snap at some ungodly hour on a day that they're not open, and then I'd be stuck. So thought I was being prepared. Well, a day later, lady calls, oh, forgot to mention, you need this blade and this mat. It's like, oh, because I thought I wasn't going to get the discount that I was getting when I purchased everything, because they were having a heck of a sale. I got 10 or 15% off of each accessory I bought, and I'd rather help a mom and pop make a little money than Amazon, and I don't like waiting for stuff. I'd rather buy it.
Speaking of, want to give a good old shout out to Joe Max Sewing and Vacuum out in Westminster, Maryland, and they're amazing. They gave us this deal, not only the 15% off, but we got this $200 off MSRP. We got this for about, what, $4?
Yeah.
And this is the $600 and some odd dollar model. This is the cream of the crop. And when we found that we could get it $200 cheaper from them, we jumped on it.
So that is that. But the acrylic blocks have come in handy, because I've gotten stamps that were on clearance at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and they're cling stamps, and if I wouldn't have gotten these, a couple of the stamps wouldn't have fit on anything else other than these, so it all worked out. So the kit comes with the block, instructions, a little activation card so that you can get to the stamp section on the website. I don't know that you would even need the kit to do the stamping.
I think it also gives you Wi-Fi, though, doesn't it?
No,
okay.
That's a separate card. So, with doing the stamps, I'm gonna have to end up switching out my blade and whatnot. I just don't remember, because I haven't done it yet, which mat I need. So I want to make sure. Yeah. It's purple and turquoise, so that looks purple and turquoise to me. So standard mat.
Patricia.
Hey Patricia, thanks for coming on in. Pull up a seat and get ready to hear probably some cussing and some crying and some throwing stuff.
You know you do cuss when you're happy, so that's not a true representation.
That is true. That is very true.
And for crying out loud, it's curse.
Don't start. Alright, so I hate this. It's never where I want it. With this, what I'm going to do, because you probably won't be able to see it because I'm going to do it out of camera, is you take off one side of the clear plastic that's covering it. You leave the clear plastic on the top because the machine's going to cut down through that, through the cling, hopefully not through my mat, and we should have a stamp. Because the mat itself, when I take this part off, lay this side facing up, please. This is actually sticky. So between the stick of this, the stick of the cling sticking to it, it shouldn't move. Now, one thing about these, when you are doing a lot of paper, this probably will leave remnants behind as well. All you need is a baby wipe. Wipe it, let it dry, and you're golden. It's back to the way it was. Doesn't mean it won't eventually die over time, but don't feel bad when you have nothing but little pieces of paper bits everywhere and you can't get it off. Just hit it with a baby wipe. It comes right off. So let me get this on here. Alrighty. Alright, so can't really see it all that well, but it's there. I got it as close to the corner up here as I could, because that's how the image is related to this. It reads all this, so it knows where it is when it's cutting. Went through, made sure it doesn't have a lot of bubbles underneath, because it could potentially make it move a little bit because it doesn't have a good solid fix to it. So it's pretty much, except for real little bubbles, pretty good and stuck on there. And I guess we're still waiting for Old Faithful over here to get warmed up. So while we're waiting for that, go back to... So we've got our image here. Again, this isn't saved to my computer. This isn't anywhere but on the web. As soon as it warms up, we'll send it to the machine. It should be ready. There we go. That, and I gotta change that.
Don't go changing cutting blades.
Yeah.
Just stick to the embossing blade that came with it.
It's not an embossing blade.
I know, but I have to think on the fly.
I do have an embossing set. I could get those out, but
I would love to see what it looks like. I really would, because I don't think you've used it.
no, I haven't. Not yet. Let's see. They recommend that blah 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 blah. Pattern interval to 3.
That's actually a good idea. Kiki says you can also use spray tack to get more life out of the mats.
True. Very true.
Huh. We might have to get some spray tack.
Probably also use a very mild detergent, like Dawn or something.
Let's make a mess today?
Her. The dishwashing liquid. And get it back that way also. Just kind of like those wall clingy things that would fall down the wall when they would get too dirty. You'd have to hit them with some dishwashing soap and they'd get their sticky back, kinda.
I remember those. No, not Rinky Dinks. Those were the other ones. Never mind.
Arranging. Why can I not? Okay, there it is. Begin with the blade extension to 6 to 6.5, and the cutting pressure set to 0. Ooh. Alright, so here is the bit that holds your blade, and just unscrews. Looks like a pen, kinda. And then forgot all about this part. Probably cut myself. There is your blade. It's got a little thingy on it. So
yeah, that's what I said. Kiki Shrinky Dinks. Or something. I don't know what I said. I forget.
alright. So it comes with a little cap so you don't inadvertently hurt yourself, which give me a minute. I am sure I will. It has this twisty thing, hopefully. There we go. Twisty thing that gives you the depth at which point this is sticking out. So all the way down at 1, barely feel it. All the way up to 12, that's almost like checking your blood for diabetes, that much of a sticky outer. And it is saying 6 to 6.5. I'm going to try 6 because whenever I go to the other end, that's when I get stuff engraved in my mat. So to change the blade in here, it's very simple. Ta-da! And as I break it, probably broke it. What is my name? There we go. So if you, let's say we were doing this and we see, oh, it should have been 6.5 because it didn't quite go all the way through. You don't have to take it all the way out to change it. You just lift it and you can kind of twist it. But we're going with 6. Put you over there. That's trash. Alright, now in here, to get to like what you want your cutting depth to be and all that, we have to get our image in here that we're going to do. So back to the website.
All right. I'm ready.
So we're going to do download, and it will go to the machine. And then when we go pattern, cloud to the machine, and there it is. Right there. Ain't she pretty? So I'm going to say we're happy with it. It should be fine where it is. If we needed to, like let's say our piece of acrylic already had a big section of it, or not acrylic, whatever this cling stuff is, already cut out. There's a couple of different ways that you can tell this thing, hey, there's nothing there, don't try and cut there. You can hit this button, the bottom one, and it will take and suck your mat through and kind of look at where you have material, whether it's paper, vinyl, whatever it is you're trying to cut. It will look, it'll see, oh, look, dum-dum, you don't have anything there, you need to move your stuff. And that way you're not purposely cutting through your mat. So I'm content with that. It's just a try it out, see if it's going to cut through. So we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to go into where our wrench and our screwdriver is. Now here is where, what?
Kiki heard fear in my voice, and she says, "That's cool, Carrie."
What?
I have no idea.
Heard fear in my voice?
No, in my voice.
Oh.
My voice. She's calling me a skirty cat.
Alright, cut speed. Obviously, it's how fast the machine's going to try and get through whatever design it is you're working on. And just like a human, the faster it goes, its accuracy is going to slip just a little bit. It doesn't say anything in the instructions on what the cut speed should be set to. So slow and steady wins the race. We'll see how it does at 1. If it seems like, oh, we could knock that up with the butterfly, we'll change it. It also said to set the cutting pressure to 0, which it already is. You can actually go negative. So with my luck, 0 will probably go through the mat, but we're going to leave it and see what happens. Draw speed doesn't matter because we're not drawing. This thing can hold a pen, it can draw. So that is an option. It comes with little pens. What?
Continue.
Okay. Draw pressure, again, doesn't matter. Fill pattern, I haven't messed with it. Line spacing, we're not doing anything with fill, so Phil's a bad boy. We're not talking to him tonight.
He plays a mean trumpet, though.
Yeah. Additional line spacing, it doesn't matter to us. So we're going to hit OK. And get ready for pit bulls to go insane. We are going to hit cut. Start. I am trying to. Ass hat.
Just stick it in.
It doesn't work that way. Helps if you push the right button. That's what he said. Ha! Alright, so start. And here comes the art inspector. And done. So that's a little scary. Okay. And come on out. So put the other one back. This is so small. As you can barely see, we have an arrow. Let me see if it went all the way through. And it did.
Oh,
Isn't that? No, it went through the cling.
Oh, it didn't go through the...
Right.
Okay, well, good. And yes, Brenda, hi, by the way.
We saved you a seat.
Yeah, she did call me an asshat. She's loving like that.
I don't know where the plastic went. It must have ate it. But, and it did a funky outline, but there's our cling stamp arrow. Oh, ain't it cute?
Well, what if we want it bigger?
Oh, we can make it bigger, but we're not, because I don't particularly want this as a bigger.
Okay.
So, we have our test done. It went through. Let's see, did it go through to the mat? Nope.
Yes!
So that means we can leave our settings as is and go back to the website here.
So leave the settings at 0, kind of like my bank account after we bought the scanning cut.
Hey, you said I could.
No, I actually drove you over there and said, sure, let's do it.
No, I went there after work. You met me. Then we went and had margaritas.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, now. All right,
See,
so
my brain don't work.
we will go. No, I didn't want to do that. But, alrighty then. Didn't want to do that.
Control Z!
Yeah, that doesn't work. Alright, my projects. Load. We will get rid of you because we don't need you. Go away.
Chopped liver and onions.
Alright, so The butterfly is kind of where we just did.
And yes, that is the Aerosmith logo. We're still working on that one.
Yeah, that's
future video. Hint, hint.
Whole nother headache. Alright, like I said, I don't know that I want a 4.5 inch by 3.5 inch butterfly, so let's take it down to 3. And that was probably in that corner. Cool, so we can actually leave it where it is. That arrow was small enough that I don't need to move the butterfly.
Nice.
So we will download to the machine. Then we will come over here. Okay, pattern.
Did you catch Brenda's video where she did the mug and the lamp and the globe and all that stuff?
I haven't seen much lately. I saw that she posted the mug and then the lamp today. I just haven't. I was working and I didn't have time to watch open enrollment and such. Just a little too busy.
Yeah, same here at work. Otherwise, I would have seen it too. I'll have to check that out, Brenda.
Alright. And
no soup for you.
No soup for me. Alright, so we know our settings are good because they haven't changed. At least I hope not. And we'll just verify. Yep, all there. Hit OK. We shall remember to hit that button. We will do cut. And it says 2 minutes. We'll say.
In comes the art inspector. They already have pepperoni. So Brenda, while we're waiting, I want to know, how many subscribers are you up to? Last I saw you were over 300. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, congrats, Brenda. So did Brandy flash?
I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know, Brandy.
Oh, is Brandy here?
Brandy was here earlier. Brenda says, there's that dog PJ borrowed from the kennel just to justify the gate.
That's the art inspector.
Yeah, we borrowed her from certain demise. She's a rescue, just like Lincoln.
I know.
About, what, 5.5, 6 years ago for Lucy?
We don't discuss a lady's age. Do we? We don't talk about a lady's age.
Oh, 312. Nice.
Alright. And spit that monkey out. And let's see. I can't really see it that well, but it's there. You can see it. So let's see what happens when.
Yes, we have 2 pit bulls. Brandy showed her drawers. Oh.
Alright.
And we're not talking about the pink lace, but real drawers?
It did cut them up.
Did it?
And on the arrow. trusty spatula.
So we need 7 cameras, and we've only got 2 right now. So if you guys want to help out, you know, let me know.
And there is our stamp. Now, I think, yeah, the little areas in the design where it looked like cutouts are actually cutouts, so I don't have to go through and pull them out.
In other words, I will go through and pull them out.
So fun.
I'm not gullible, Brandy. I never said I actually believed that you flashed your panties. I was just, you know, commenting on that.
He believed it, Brandy.
No, I didn't. And, by the way, yes, Carrie is pretty.
Not hardly.
Well, she didn't put a comma, so I'm guessing she's calling you pretty. Because she said pretty Carrie.
Pretty pity.
No, she said pretty Carrie.
Alright, so to keep the other side from getting weird, put it back on some of the plastic. I'll cut it out to a better size here in a moment. It does come with, if I can find it in my bucket of tools.
Would you like a refill on your tasty beverage?
No, I want my, thought I had a, there. Alright. Alright. What are you gurgling about, Brown Dog?
Knock it off.
And yes, I've gotten old enough that it's easier for me to call him Brown Dog than to remember his name half the time.
I want my Mapo.
I knew I should have bought new scissors today.
Would you like my pair?
Probably has tongue oil residue on it.
My pair? No. There's no residue.
This pair.
Well, I'll get you my pair.
I'm almost done now. Maybe. There we go. So that way we can put this back over.
Brandy says, you're just mad because you can't show your Captain Underpants. Well, you could, but Carrie might come after you. And Carrie is pretty.
Thank you, but no. Alright.
That's funny considering no one's really seen a good look at you. But I would agree with that anyway.
We don't need to break the 2 cameras that we do have.
Jesus.
So, to keep Art Bitch quiet and occupied, he can go ahead and cut this out.
Yeah, like I don't have much to do already.
No, you really don't. Because I can't see how well it does. And it's not like I'm on camera anyway.
Give it here. Yeah, well, that's because we only have 2 cameras and we need 7.
I put plastic over it, so you'll have to take the top layer of the plastic off. Take the top layer of the plastic off.
I'm doing that, honey.
Alright. So, that is that for the moment. Now, I did go through and... thought you were trying to hand that to me.
No.
I did go through and find some other images. I just did not put them up on the website yet. Wasn't sure how far I would get before stuff went flying, so I figured no sense going through and doing a lot. I'll probably end up throwing this.
Why do you assume that you're just going to start throwing stuff? Your name isn't Patra.
No, I swear as I've gotten older, it just want to throw stuff and cuss.
Mm. And I have to say, I know everyone can't see it. As a matter of fact, nobody but me can see it. But this is rather therapeutic to peel out these little cutouts inside. And at the same time, it's very easy. Carrie, did you want to show people what I've done so far?
He's gone through and gotten that much out. So, whoops, whenever he finishes, we'll slap it on a acrylic block and we'll test it out, see how it looks. Can you switch it to the... Thank you.
You're very welcome, my love.
So, let's see, what do we have? Let's see what this looks like. That might be interesting, but not really in a heart kind of mood. Let's see, squirrel. Don't know. That's going to take a lot of work in Illustrator.
Not really. It should be just a selective background removal.
No, it's going to be a lot of separate lines, and I don't know which parts I would want solid to where it would hold the ink, and other places where I would want it to not hold ink. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
Let's see, fall wreath.
They're so worth it, Kimmery. They can do so much more than any of the other machines we looked at.
Because I have something else I want to do with the scan and cut, but it's not stamp based, and I don't want to move away from stamps until I know whether this one worked or not. Let's see. That's heart again, and I'm still not in a heart kind of mood. That would be interesting. I don't know. Fired grunge labels. Don't want that as a... That could work straight out. Alright. So, files. Bam. Alright.
Having fun, Karen?
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kaza. Yeah, one of these days we're actually going to have Helen on the live stream, and we're going to call it Arting with Kaza and Hel.
I don't know how much arting will get done, because we'll probably just sit there and crack up making fun of you, so... I don't know. Alright, so to get an image that is on your computer into the website, very straightforward. You just go to where it says SVG.
Scalable Vector Graphic.
Choose where your file is. Choose that said file. Hit open. Hit OK. And bam. So we know that we just did the butterfly. And we know it was right in here. So we are going to take and move over here. And I don't know that I want it that big.
Why does Kiki assume I'm just a skirty cat?
A skirty cat?
A skirty cat. She's sensing fear again in my voice.
Fear of what?
I have no friggin' idea.
Are you fearing the spoon that's looming over here?
Only if you stick it up my ass.
That was just way too graphic.
Well, I didn't mention that only if you stick it up my ass and then turn it around. Like, that would have been too graphic.
Seriously.
Which is why I didn't say it. Oh, is this thing on? Damn it.
Gee. So we'll put our clingy stuff back on here. Try and get it lined back up. There we go. Make sure we have no air.
Fear of my wifey. Yeah, if she's gonna leave me, sure.
Alright, so that's at the 3 mark. Alright, we got room. Should have room.
Joyce says, "You're fired."
Let's see, will it let me? Let's go in here. We are wrong menu. Back out. There we go. We are going to move you so we can see. Just want the cutting line. Gonna rotate this. Maybe we want to go back this way.
Oh God, Rose has more paint.
Rose.
Now, in her defense, you too have gotten more paint since our haul at Home Depot.
Not a lot, just a couple little bottles.
God, can you imagine if Bear Premium had phase change or color shift?
Color shift. I don't know that I would want my house painted in color shift paint. I like it. I think it's pretty, but I don't know that I would want my house painted with that. Alright, I think we should be able to squeeze that on there. So, we are going to try another one while we are waiting for trusty art bitch. Get out of there, and we will go here. And you can save patterns on here. Like, let's say you are using a thumb drive and you don't want to keep those images on your thumb drive, you can save them into the machine. It does have a memory. I can't remember offhand how big it is, but if you're using the website, you don't need to because your items are there. When you get the wireless activation card, it gives you access to that. It's a one-time purchase. It's not something that is like a membership or a subscription. It's one time, it's yours. They're there for as long as brothers in business. So, and they've been around a while, so I think we'll be alright. Okay, delete all patterns. I haven't sent it yet. Download. There's that.
You might want to increase it by a little bit.
What do you mean?
Bring the needle down a little bit, because some of these are tearing because they're not cut out on the very corner. But most of them just fell right out.
Or do I need to increase the pressure by a little bit?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Alright, so we'll hit OK. We'll go in here. Pressure will go from 0 to 1. And now we'll have a kite indent on our mat. Chances are, shush, get, there you go. And we will do cut and go.
Hey, Wanda's in the house.
Hey, Wanda, thanks for stopping by.
I love the sound it makes. And the scanning could get its own light.
Yay! Alright. And I did a pretty good line on that up. And come here. Yeah, see what you mean. And that was with increasing it. So, what if I wouldn't have come up? I would just send it back through. That's weird. That cuts fine in some areas. And I even increased the pressure, but it, whoops. Come on, there you go. See, I'm not emotionally invested in this kite, so if it rips, it rips. Okay, give me a second.
The butterfly has been buttered.
Oh, now you're gonna go fly a kite here in a second. Yeah, because it's stuck on there. Vapey, vapey. There you go.
So now you're giving me more work to do?
Yep. So, let's see. Here is our acrylic block. And if you've ever used a cling stamp, I am sure you've used an acrylic block. They just make life a little bit easier. So there she blows. Kind of see it, but didn't Art Bitch do a good job getting all those pieces out?
I try.
Alright, so because I don't have a Tim Holtz budget, I just have a Tim Holtz taste. Went to Wally World earlier and looking for stamp pads because I have one little one like this, not this one but like this, that's the distressed black that came with the alcohol ink starter kit. And I also have a, what do they call it, ombre, whatever it is, where it has like the 3 different color inks all in one. And I haven't even opened that one, but I wanted something more than pink. So went to Wally World, and Wally World had these. It's a set of 12. There goes one, so now we're at 11. No, set of 12. Put them down. You got the kite out. Good job. Alright. And also had these colors. Always forget where the camera is. So I figured, not worried about it being archival or whatever it is, and I'm not worried about it being anything super special. This is essentially to see how these stamps work, if they work, how they look. Just kind of a learning process to see, oh, well, that would look better if, you know, it would have been inverted. You know, this should have been solid and that should have been the cutout. So, trial and error. So, let's get some paper. and we'll give her a go. So, good old mixed media journal that has some mixed media in it. And since this one has paint on it, I can't use it for anything else. We'll use it for stamping. So, let's see, we got a butterfly. I guess we'll do some purple. Some purple. So, I don't know how good these stampers are going to be. Do some purple. Thank you. Yeah, these are very watery.
Mary wants to know, what material are you using? Or are you cutting?
Cutting what?
I guess the stamp material.
It's already been cut. It's the it's like a cling stamp material. It comes in sets that you can get for the scan and cut.
It's like a cling film silicone rubbery jelly stuff. It's like a jelly plate, just really thin. Oh wow.
So stamp does work. The ink pads not so much because they're very watery, but it's Walmart. What can you do? So the center is purple-ish. The wings are blue and kind of blood on it, but they will wipe off, wash off, whatever, so you don't have to worry about it turning colors, especially if you have a trusty art bitch who will go out and wash it off for you.
Exactly. Hey, we have a question from the chat room. Rose wants to know, does that cut chipboard?
I don't believe it'll do chipboard. It will do balsa wood. So like I don't know how to explain it. It's that real thin, crafty type of wood. They will cut that. It'll cut vinyl. It'll cut, well, it'll emboss metal if you get the embossing tips for it. But no, I don't know. It will do quilting material. It will do fabric. It's a lot of the stuff is geared to quilters. It will cut out your fabric for you. Or if you do a lot of sewing and you need fabric cut, this thing will cut out appliques and stuff like that. I am not a sewer, would like to sew, but not doing it by hand and don't have money for the sewing machines that I saw while getting this thing. Oh my god, I've never seen sewing machines with such huge LCD screens and so many different things. It's like you push a button and walk away and the thing sews for you. It tells you how long it's been since I looked at sewing machines. But that,
it's like you don't know whether you're sewing or driving a Tesla.
yeah, they were wild and so expensive, but it's like, ooh. but yeah, it will cut your fabric for you. All the ladies in there talk about quilting and they all use the scan and cut for quilting.
Hey, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
Haven't seen you in a while. Things all right?
And there is our kite. Just in green. Nothing special.
I think that turned out splendid.
Mm-hmm. And the ink might look better if it's on different paper, but this is like a mixed media. So, can you go wash before it sets, please?
Of course.
Excuse me. So, that is stamps. You can get them intricate as you think you can handle, because you have to kind of change your mindset. Where it cuts, it's not going to hold ink. The material that gets left behind will hold the ink and will give you the pattern. So you have to keep that in mind when you're looking at images, or if you're coming up with your own image. You have to keep that in mind so that okay, when that's a stamp and I go and do it, is it going to be inverted? Is it going to look weird? Do I need to flip the image? What parts of it do I want it to hold ink? What parts do I not want it to have ink? That way, if I want to go back and do gelatos or watercolor or what are they called? Copic pens or anything of that nature, it'll give you the areas where you want to put your own color. So that is that. Now, as I've mentioned before, I'm in the process of making some happy to go to my bestie, Miss Hells, down in Australia, and just been trying to find different little things that would give me some practice at some stuff, because like I said, paper crafting and all that, it's new to me. Wasn't something I really wanted to get into, at least not until we got a bigger place to live, so I'd have room to hoard stuff. So don't really have a lot of stuff, don't really have a lot of knowledge and different techniques and this is that, and so a lot of times Mama will be able to talk about stuff and my eyes will just kind of glaze over because I have no idea what she's talking about and I don't want to ask 1,000 stupid questions. So looking through the different projects that Scan and Cut has on their website, I found something that I thought was cute that I think would be nifty to send some down to Australia, and
down under.
Also just to have something to do while I'm watching live streams or want to art but don't have a lot of time or don't want to get all my toys out, so to speak. It'll kind of keep it right here, and it would give me more chances to use the Scan and Cut and get a little more familiar with it. As soon as I can find it, I had it saved until somebody needed to reboot the computer.
Well, if you had it saved, it still should be saved.
The PDF is not, and I didn't save the PDF. It opened it in the web browser, so now I have to go and find this thing again. I have the cut patterns, but I need the PDF. Men. And I don't remember how far down it was. Oy vey. Swear I think they've actually changed some of this stuff around, because I remember seeing some of it.
And all these are free.
Yeah, well, free with activation, so nothing's absolutely free. Gotta pay for it one way or another.
Can I stand out on the street corner to pay for it?
Hey, go shake a leg.
I actually did that earlier. I shook a leg on camera because Brandy's complaining about my white ass legs.
Yeah, they're a little bright. Where are these things? Oh my God.
We are doing Scan and Cut goodness, Emily. Emily wants to know, what are we doing tonight? She's missed something.
Oh, well, we started with putting some tongue oil on the ugly box I did last week that is unicorn spit and chalk paint that you need to get in the light. You can't see it in there. Just so get an idea. Now I'm doing it.
Hold on.
Now you're making me get my hands all sticky. But just one coat of tongue oil and you can see it's already got a lot of shine. And it is pretty much dry.
It's a little tacky.
A little tacky, not bad. It's almost dry. So that way you could see the difference between, I was hoping, the difference between how it looks chalky when the unicorn spit dries to how the colors come back once you actually start the sealing process, but the camera doesn't do it justice. So, and I'm making a mess over here. So I don't know how well you can see it because the picture is kind of small, but they are little birds that are made out of cardstock and paper clips, and I thought they were super cute, and I thought that some of them would like a new life in Australia. And I also thought that when I get around to mass producing some ATCs, because I've been told by the art bitch that I need to make ATCs so that they can be used as business cards
and giveaways,
that would be something cute just to clip to an ATC as an extra little, here you go. And it would, again, give me something to do, keep me out of trouble. So I went out while I was out today and I got a couple little things that I didn't have that I needed, like these thicker double-sided tape, the foamy stuff that has some height to it, because I have double-sided tape but it's essentially Scotch tape and it's pretty thin, but I thought they were super cute, and you can make them whatever colors you want. Now when I went through the agony of trying to get the crappy cardstock that I have off of the mat, this mat, I told myself never again and went out and got the low-tack.
Say cheese.
No.
Brandy wants to see your pretty face.
No, I don't. Why do you think the cameras are set up this way?
Because we only have 2 of them. We need 7.
But anywho, low tack. So we shall see just how low tack can be. I still think that the cardstock is probably going to get overstuck, which is going to cause me to cuss. And I also think that I need to remember to change the depth of that blade by a lot and the pressure, or I'll have little birds going all over my new mat, which is okay. They're cute, but it doesn't need to go all the way down my mat. Oh, put the plasticky thing. Is there, on the other side, is there bits on there? Does it need to be wiped off? Not that. The front where the stuff lays on it.
There's like a little piece of plastic, which I can use my nail to get off. Yeah, just did it.
Just wipe it down with a freaking baby wipe, will you?
Fine. Give me a damn baby wipe, will
I'm working on it, alright?
Alright.
Gosh. Here.
I'm busy.
Baby, here's your wipe. Alright. So.
Rose, you can see my funny face on Rogue Intel's YouTube channel. I've been doing a podcast with Carrie for quite some time, and we do a video stream of it live every, well, I don't want to say every Friday because we haven't done it in like 3 weeks, but you get the point.
Alright, I gotta get this covered up before it gets all gunky. Gunky. Where did you put the stamps? Are they out there drying, or are they laying over here?
They're behind.
Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of plastic.
Nancy's in the house.
Hey, Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
I'm gonna have to figure out some way of some type of hard plastic to put them on to cover them. Didn't think that far ahead, but it'll be alright. So there is that out of the way. And because the instructions for these birds don't tell you, do you need jumbo or do you need standard?
Yeah.
So, and not that I didn't just show you 2 boxes of jumbo. Yeah, jumbo or standard, I got both. So, Dollar General, which is a lie. First one we ever went into, Ghetto Fabulous, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Ghetto Fabulous. And, figure it's like any other typical dollar store. Everything should be $1. Apparently not. And I even joked on the way in because the dollar part of the Dollar General sign was not lit. I said, oh, I guess everything in there isn't $1. And wouldn't you know it? Not everything in there was $1. It was like, are you kidding me?
Well, we won't be going back because we found absolutely crap when it comes to craft supplies.
Well, I'd rather go to the one up in PA because it's bigger and less Ghetto Fabulous.
Yes.
So.
Ha! Brandy's crushing on you.
Crushing on me?
She said, Carrie, you're adorbs. PJ, you're a lucky dude. And don't I freaking know it.
If you say so. I don't agree. I got the kind of face only a mother could love.
Or a mofo.
A mofo, huh? Alright. And this, I have to say, thank you, Linda McAllister, wherever you are. I love gelatos. Love them, love them, love them. Had seen them in Michael's and Joann's, well, not Joann's, but Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and I was like, why do I want something named after a very yummy treat? So, never got it, didn't know what it was, don't have, a never-ending or never-empty bank account, so wasn't going to get something and not know what it was. Happened to see Linda do one of her live streams, and I think it was one where she had Pin telling her what to do. Which
I love Pin. Pin Duluth is great.
I love those streams. But she had said, use your gelatos, and my ears perked up because it was like, okay, now I can see what a gelato is. What is it? So she broke her gelatos out and she started doing stuff with it, and she is so talented. Susan. Hey, Susan. She is so talented to begin with, but she just started and it wasn't like she had even as many of these things as I do, but she just had a few of them out and she started doing stuff with it, and it was just like, I must have, and went out and got, I think, every color that they make. So, and then I figured I want to see what they can do on a black piece of cardstock. Got some really good, it's like 110 weight cardstock, and this is using the metallic and iridescent colors. I wanted to see how they would look on a black, and they do pop. Just playing around with it last night. This is just blending it with my finger as I went. Not that you can see it all that well, but I'm toying with the idea of going back over it and hitting some of it with water to kind of blend it out a little more, because you can do that with gelatos. And then I figured that's pretty decent cardstock, and because I'm lazy and bad at math too, Mama B, I don't like to measure. So Hobby Lobby, love their clearance section.
Oh gosh, yes.
they have an ATC punch. Got it for a steel. And I have to say, this is awesome. You don't have to measure. It rounds your corners. It goes through like butter. And just even messing around with it, I don't know where the ones I had cut out went to, but it is really nice. But yeah,
Shut up, mother!
What? What did your mom
She's asked me 3 times to switch cameras now!
Oh.
And I did, like, the first time. It's just there's a delay.
Will you stop? Oh my god.
See? Even Carrie says stop.
You! Getting all screechy? Nobody wants to hear that.
Mama wants to see the drawing, because apparently it didn't get shown on camera.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
It's just a abstract gelato version of a pour. I'm probably going to go back through and blend it a little more using water, so it looks more like a...
Hey, pink zebra.
Some of the stuff that looks black isn't black. If we had a better lighting setup, you'd be able to see. No, it's blinded by the light. It's a lot of metallic, a lot of shimmer in the gelatos. It's really pretty. So I figured, get that set up the way I want and then punch it out using the punch for ATCs and put something over top of it, put a couple of these birds on it, and out the door it can go. On the back side, do something if he's trying to use it as a business card with whatever information he wants on it, and hit it with a little Mod Podge glossy just to seal it, because gelatos, water, don't want to do it on its own. And yeah.
Apparently you can also blend the gelatos with that.
Yes, I know.
Yes. And we've got a touche moment coming from Kiki. She says, Carrie, you can cut a full page of ATCs with your scan and cut.
Yeah, I know. But I like being able to, I don't know, there's something satisfying with hearing that kerchunk sound,
yeah.
And the scan and cut, again, don't always have it plugged in, much less in a position where you can have a mat traveling back and forth, because I'm in a corner, literally, where I'm sitting. So to use this, it has to be here. But if I'm pouring, that's where I do pouring. So can't have this here all the time. And by the time I get around to wanting to use this, I've probably got it buried with some stuff. And then it's like, oh, screw that, and just get the punch out, chung, 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 and done. Yeah. So
when we do find a house that suits our needs, we will buy it. And the first 2 tools that I will be buying is a miter tool, a miter saw, and a table saw. And using those, I will build us a customized studio desk for Carrie. And it'll have a little offset for me for my, recording production gear and whatnot. That way she'll have all the room she needs. But until then, we live in a 950 square foot house that's a piece of junk.
And they didn't need to know the added bonus of it being a piece of junk. But yes.
Well, hey, we're renting,
The other thing I was thinking of with the scan and cut, like the different vinyls or the different cutting materials, not necessarily the mats or the cartridges obviously won't work, but like the different vinyls, or I can't remember. I think I saw it somewhere before I even got this, where they do have like the real thin balsa wood sheets that would fit in here for the Cricut. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I saw it at Michael's. This was March or April. Haven't looked for it since, because I don't know that I would want to cut wood with it. But just because it says Cricut doesn't mean that this thing can't cut it. I have vinyl over there that we're trying to do something with that Aerosmith thing that's long, drawn out thing.
Teaser alert!
But, so I did not realize it was 9:13. I'm almost about ready to turn into a pumpkin.
You're almost going for a Mama B level stream.
Yeah, well.
I'm enjoying it. We're having fun. Are you guys having fun out there in the chat room? I can't hear you. Oh, never mind. It's one-way communication.
Can you imagine if it was like a
big old hangout?
Yeah.
You know, that could be possible. That really could be. We could have like 3 or 4 people in. Do it like Brenda. As a matter of fact, Brenda G's Design. If you guys haven't checked out, she does streams Mondays at 8, I think? And they're pretty freaking hilarious. And she does it that way. She does a Google Hangout, and she has 3 people. Well, Brandy sometimes takes up 2 slots. Yeah. One for audio, one for video.
Because she's special like that.
Well, she needs a panty cam. Come on.
Well, couldn't you do it just voice?
Yeah.
Then you could do
TeamSpeak,
right, or Ventrilo or something, and everybody could, instead of having to type in the chat room, could sit there and talk over each other.
Oh God, that would not make for a good experience. As a producer, I will tell you, it would suck.
It would be fun to hear everybody and their accents and stuff like that. I think it would be a hoot. A hoot, I tell you.
Helen says, I want to come and stay. Please, I don't take up much room. Well, except for the crap I recycle.
Well, Helen, we have a basement with a futon.
Yeah.
And we have 2 pit bulls that like company. So they will knock you down and probably lick you, but that's about it. I don't know. I think that's too pokey.
Pokey 'em if you got 'em.
So we'll try that and see. Alright, so let's get the PDF. Not that I really need it to cut it out. Where did it go? Ah, there she is. Alright.
All this talk of gelato. Now I'm hungry.
I know, right? So, like I said, these projects come with PDFs that walk you through. This one isn't quite as elaborate as some of these things on here, which is another reason why I like it simple. And I already have the birdies.
Brenda says your channel should be called Crafting with Pitbulls. I think someone's already got that taken care of.
Dancing with
Pitbulls.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen her dance.
Or a pitbull.
God bless. Now I gotta run to the store? Come on, Brandy. I don't want to run. I'm in my workout shorts. Oh, Nancy's got 2 pit bulls and 2 Jack Russells.
Nice.
Nice.
So Jack Russells are the little Fraser dog,
yes.
right?
Okay. They're buddy.
Alright, since some of these are 65 pound, no wonder it goes right through it. Since some of this will be going to Helen, and her and I love our blue and purple. Our first set of birds will be, as soon as I can get my fingers on it, in blue. Alright. Blue.
Yeah, Helen. It's not just in Oz where people think that pit bulls are vicious. It's pretty much worldwide.
Well, all right. I'll give you an example of here. In Virginia, I believe it was in Virginia. It was at a PetSmart. Now, PetSmart will groom your animal for you. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. There was one dog getting groomed. It was a Bichon Frise, the little white poofy barky dogs. And it was up on the table getting groomed or blow dried, because that's just the type of fur they have. Well, there was also a pit bull. Now, do you think that the staff of the PetSmart screwed up when I tell you that the Bichon Frise died at the vet after the pit bull ripped it apart? Whose fault do you really think it is? To me, if you know your dog is aggressive, or if you know your dog is maybe not other dog friendly, love people, but maybe doesn't like other animals. I've had an Akita, love that dog, but she was a people person. Another animal, she just would not tolerate it. Our pit bulls together, they tend to get a little bit of a pack mentality, to where you got my back, yeah, I got your back, okay, let's go. And I don't know that they would do anything, but considering how strong they are and how strong their jaws are, I really don't want to take the chance. And I don't want someone, because they see that we have 2 pit bulls, taking advantage of that fact and, oh, your dog did this, or your dog growled, or your dog nipped my dog. Because I'll tell you straight up, there will be a standoff, because they will not get my dogs. They will not. So, the pit bull could have had issues where they don't like other animals. So if that's the case, don't take your animal to a store to have it groomed.
Take it to the vet or take it to a specialist.
Do it your damn self.
Well, that's it.
It's not like a pit bull needs to have a grooming. All it needs is a bath.
Yeah. And that, I would never take anyone, I would never take our dog anywhere for a bath. We can do that better in our
Well, I mean, if we had like a poodle or something where you have to like groom it, shave it.
Well, yeah, that's different, but with pit bulls, you don't need that.
Right. So, so that tells me it probably wasn't necessarily the pit bull that probably even started it. It was probably that little white barky dog, because it seems like the smaller the dog, the bigger they think they are. It's like a Chihuahua. They can be some of the most vicious damn dogs I have ever met. They might shake and look like they're trying to poop out razor blades, but they can be some of the nippiest, nastiest little dogs, and it's because of their size. And so it was probably the white dog. They probably didn't have it leashed to the grooming table. They probably didn't have a good hold on that pit bull, and that little white dog probably growled or did something aggressive to that pit bull, and that pit bull's like, all right, you want to go? Let's go.
Yeah.
And bam. Or that little white dog happened to get down and bite the pit bull first, and it saw it wasn't playing. Well,
yeah. I mean, shit happens, but there should have been more protection involved, for these dogs.
So now you've got a family who lost a family member, essentially, because the dog died. You got another family, depending on what PetSmart says happened, and they're going to lie and do everything to cover themselves. There's probably another family that's going to lose a family member, because they're probably going to call for that dog to be put down. And it just amazes me the way the mentality is towards these dogs, you need to almost think of it as you're carrying a loaded weapon, because that's how everybody looks at you when they see you have a pit bull. That pit bull can be sitting there squealing because it's so happy it can't contain itself, and it's jumping and wanting to get to you and just lick you. It's not that it's trying to get to you to rip your face off, but the media has made these dogs out to be, the villain, when anything that they've ever done wrong, it's because some human piece of garbage trained that dog to do that. Carrie now gets down from her box.
Her boxing.
There you go. But, alright, so put our paper in here. Because if I was driving a big rig and I had to make a choice between either hitting a dog in front of me or a pedestrian, guess what? Two-legged's going to lose, because he's just going to be a greasy mark on the pavement. I will not hit an animal to save a human's life, because that human should know better than to be out in the middle of the street. But that's just because I don't like people, typically. Alright, so can you get back to the donkey?
De nada.
Alright, so we are going to no, can't do it that way. Really? Project, no, edit, Control C. That's what I thought. Alright, Control C.
What'd you call me?
Called you Control C.
Huh.
Come on. Seriously, there you go. So I'm just making more birds to make it worth going through.
Have you heard?
The bird's the word?
There you go.
Oh. You're probably the only Family Guy person in the chat.
Helen says, I say that all the time, Kaz. We're so alike. I dislike people, too. My nephew has people equal shit in a hushed letter across his back. Oh, okay. I'm going to get it so everyone sees it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of a comedian, hell's called Bill Burr.
Oh, yes.
But he is like, to me, the second coming of he's just awesome. Because, I agree, we as a species on this planet, we need to be like knocked back by a good 85%. And I'm not even saying that I would make it into that 15 percentile that got to stay.
I think you would.
But, there are so many people that, I don't know, that just really shouldn't be, because, they, abuse children, abuse animals, kill people, kill animals. There's people that just no amount of rehabilitation could ever do anything to help them. And the way the population's growing and the planet's deteriorating, you think something would get done.
Yeah, Mama B said, or 70 Acres Studio, Mama B. That's our Mama B. You can't call her Mama B. We can call her Mama B. But she says we need to flush the gene pool. I completely agree.
I don't mean to get all preachy and political, but...
Amen, sister.
That one. One more. Control
Can we get the poop emoji down there?
The poop emoji?
Sure, what that? Well, why not?
For what?
I don't know. No. Hey, it'll cut it. It'll cut the poop.
Well, no kidding. Doesn't mean it should. Alright. Okay. Download.
Tell me that Hells is not your sister from another mister. She's just said some people breed too much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's another thing. You need to have a license to drive. You should have to have a license to procreate. And you should be limited to how many of them you can spit out too.
Oh, so like China.
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 Cut pressure. We're going to do a -1. We're going to up you a little bit. Maybe we'll do a -2.
Man, you've got yet another new nickname, Cazabear.
Cazabear. Okay. And cut. And start.
Thank you, Rose. Rose says, our logo has happy colors. I did the logo, so I guess that means you're welcome? I don't know, did you even pick the colors for the logo? Okay. I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
And I did it in Illustrator.
You probably asked me while I was sitting here trying to do something artsy, and I was probably just kind of like, nah. You figure it out.
Yeah. Rose didn't mean to compliment me. And you know, she put the JK afterwards, but I don't buy it.
Alrighty, let's see. It looks like it went all the way through. So...
Eject! Eject!
Yeah. So, just so you can see, this is the low-tech mat.
Apparently Mama B is the shit compared to us.
Ooh, why?
Oh, Tracy just says, Carrie and PJ, I love your YouTube channel, but your mom's the shit.
Alright, so... didn't go all the way through. See, I was trying to spare my mat, and I can see it on the mat, so you would think it went all the way through the paper, but it's almost like a perforation. So I guess you are supposed to see it on the mat when you do a cut. I don't know. See, now I don't have the patience to sit here and try to get these to not rip. Okay. So there's a set of wings. And got all those birds and stuff, so that's how that works.
Yeah, we'll unplug them later.
Unplug them later.
Yeah.
So, because they were showing in the PDF, can you put it back?
What's in it for me?
It's your job. That they're using multiple colors, so I think we'll figure out a complementary color for the blue. And I have put it on the, thank you. I have these colors, and I have these colors that
I like that green.
I think the blue I just used is that one. And I've got these. So, because it's for my Hells and she likes the purple, we shall do some purple. As soon as I can open the plastic.
Foiled by plastic.
Yeah, pretty much. Ow. And we'll use this maybe. So Kiki, you think you're still gonna get a scan and cut? Or have I turned you off from it?
I think you turned her off with that whole license to bear children. And I had to tell her that you were joking.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's just, stupid plastic.
Something you learn after being with Carrie for 15 years is she's got a really dry sense of humor, which I love.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, from the podcast, we've had a listener in England who are renowned for their dry sense of humor say that he enjoyed me and that I have a drier sense of humor than they do. So I kind of took it as a compliment. I don't know. I do know I have a bad attitude and very sarcastic. It gets me in trouble all the time.
Yes, I have to spank her all the time.
No, when you get a talking to when you're school age, because you really need to work on the attitude. It's like, I think it's pretty perfect the way it is. But
yeah, Kiki says she is still planning on getting the scan and cut. And that you sounded pretty serious. Yeah, she has that. She has that. That sense sometimes.
Yerp. Can't be all. What is it? Farting
Dick jokes.
Yeah, farting dick jokes. So.
Hey. 70 Acres says Carrie and I are twins. She's older. How the hell do you figure?
I guess maybe my soul's older. Feels like I've been kicked around quite a bit. Quite a few times.
Helen says she puts both of her feet in her mouth.
I think we'll go to a 1. Let's see how that does.
And for the people with tinnitus or tinnitus, however you say it, I will mute out the audio when the scan and cut comes on. That way we don't have to do anything, you know?
Oh, was it bothering somebody?
Some people have tinnitus, yeah. Or tinnitus. And we're done. Maybe.
We are fini. Alrighty. So, can you put the thing back on there?
No.
Oh.
I have it.
Then why did you say no?
Because I'm being, a pain in the ass.
Gotcha.
I'm being a piece of pita bread.
Alright, so we had one set of the blue wings that we were able to detach. See if I can get some of these purple birdies. Changing the cut pressure a little bit made it a little bit better. There's one birdie. And alright, come on.
Brandy says they were totally talking smack about us the whole time.
I'd never.
Yes,
See?
we were both saying how much we want to see your panties. They don't argue. Rose says, they don't argue. They plan. They're in total agreement.
Oh no, we argue.
Oh, God, we argue.
Not as much as we used to.
No.
We're getting too old, don't have the energy for it.
No, we just communicate. I mean, our thing is we don't hide things. We don't, lie. And if there's a point in time where we need to say something that potentially could piss off the other, we say our safe word. Not that kind of safe word. Get out of the gutter. We preface it with our safe word saying, hey, better prepare because this might offend. But it really ends up helping out.
Yeah, it took a lot of what felt like beating our heads against walls trying to communicate in the beginning, but seems like this relationship's been backwards. You know, it's supposed to have that whole, you think the other person's just the best thing since sliced bread, and they can do no wrong. That sort of. I know I'm going to open this, and these things are going to.
You want some help?
No.
I mean, you have an art bitch. It's me.
I'm quite capable of having these things fly across the room just as well as you could. There we go.
Is your basement a dungeon? Rose wants to know.
A dungeon? It's where old computer parts go to die. But that's about it. Alright, so.
It's our drying room. We coat things with polyacrylic and tung oil, and we have a fan, and yeah, it's basically where our washer dryer and drying art stuff is.
Well, there's windows, there's a door, so it's not like Helen would go down there and never come back out.
True. I mean, and not to mention the rack.
The rack? Don't you mean the swing?
Well, that too.
Alright, so.
Yeah, Helen, that's pretty much right on point. She says that's why a lot of relationships fail with the younger gen, because it's all about instant gratification.
So I'm thinking, and I'm glad I got them, that this should be on a jumbo paper clip, because by the time you put these on here, well, helps if you put it in the right direction, dum-dum. put it on there like that and then try and stick it on something, it's not going to have very much room to actually clip. So if you put it on jumbo, it would give you almost an entire paper clip to... My sleeve's on the way, so I think we'll use the jumbos. Alright. So, but yeah, that's scan and cut. Scan and cut is fun. Until it isn't.
It's frustrating. Like, I think the learning curve for Carrie was more about vector art versus, versus issues with the scan and cut itself. Vector is a beast. I mean, I've been designing in Photoshop since the late 90s, and it was a beast for me, too. I mean, it took me a whole weekend to get the principles down, and I'm still not great at it because I don't use it enough, but it is definitely different.
So this has really been like a introductory for you and I and all of us for the scan and cut, because like I said, never really had a chance to play too hardcore with it. We'll probably do other things, because like I have the embossing kit, which I haven't even activated that yet, haven't played with it. We'll like to see what all you can do. I know it'll do metal, like the thin metal, and it'll of course do papers and such, but I have to come up with some nifty ideas that we can start and finish hopefully in one go, and we'll get glue and messy and stuff. But next week, I think, because I still have all of those paints from the last time I did a pour extravaganza on here sitting here staring at me, might as well start trying to get those used up before they just turn into big cups of paint boogers. We'll probably do some pouring next week. Hopefully we'll have that box completed and be able to show you what that looks like and get some pictures posted so that you can get a truer idea of what that looks like. And Art Bitch is trying to get me to do some more recorded production type videos. Haven't quite figured out what I want to do with that.
Involve soda cans?
Probably.
I mean, you'd have to cut the soda can flat.
Yeah, you'd have to flatten it, but it would... The
aluminum is very soft.
I'll show you the metal it comes with real quick. Doobie-doo. Comes... Get off. Seriously. Alright. Oh, I just bent that. Comes with this... Oh, that's a lot of glare. Silver. It's probably a little thicker than a soda can would be. If you cut it open.
I'd say that's right on par with what a soda can is, yeah.
Well, or not necessarily. Like if you get like the Walmart, that Sam's Club soda, those are really thin metal.
Yeah. No, that's like LaCroix or Polar, which is what I drink, because I don't drink soda.
And it comes with a copper sheet. And again, if Cricut, I don't know if Cricut can emboss. I didn't dive that deep into what it could and couldn't do. But if they sell anything like this for Cricut, you can use it in your scan and cut. So I always feel a little jealous when I go into a Michael's or
Joann's,
especially Joann's, because they cater so much to Cricut. Even Walmart now has Cricut stuff in there. but you see all their nifty little accessories and all the different vinyls and the different, just everything for a Cricut. And it's like, well, I can use whatever image I want without having to buy all those different cartridges, and I can still use your materials. Yeah. So, you know, it works. And oh, come on, they must love tape. These are, I'll get there eventually. Come on, focus. You can do it. I don't know. I can't really see it through that plastic anyway. These are the embossing needles. They're not really needles. It's more of a rounded point. There we go. Maybe be able to see it now. It's rounded. It's got a little bit of a ridge to it, like right there. And then this one is a little more pointed, so I'm guessing that would give a sharper emboss, where that would be the more shallow groove. I don't know. I don't know. Haven't tried it yet, as you can tell, because everything's still in plastic and taped up. But we'll give it a go one week and see what kind of damage we can cause. And I'll hopefully, I think we're waiting on your part of the Happy Meal for Helen.
Mine's done for the most part.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, my part for the Happy Meal is done.
I
just have to box it up.
Birdies to do. I have a tassel for one thing. The other thing is done. I'm also going to send, because I haven't like stockpiled a ton of like painty papers and stuff like that. I am going to be sending my sister some of my paint skins so that she can try and make something nifty out of them. Like I said, I will be sending her little pencil holder or whatever she wants to use it for. I don't know that I would drink out of it, obviously, because there's lace now along the top and bottom just to make it look a little more cutie. But that's ready, and I'll be learning something new to do this tassel and this bookmark, because I've never done anything beadwork related or anything of that nature, so we'll see how that turns out. And got finished, it's finished except for the tassel, and she'll be ready to fly to Australia and with a little bit of happy.
Yay! So are we gonna do anything else tonight, or are we gonna wrap it up?
Gonna wrap it up, because I've said more in the past 2.5 hours than I've probably said all week.
Well, this is by far the longest stream you've done, so that's awesome. I want to remind everyone to like this video if you enjoyed the content, and you know what, give us a thumbs down if you didn't, because we're big boys and girls. We can take the criticism, and the haters, of course, because haters gonna hate. Hate. And you can go to epiphanycraft.com for all things Carrie. And we've got some more produced videos coming on the horizon, and we will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place.
Night, everybody.